Dart.
I'm smoking right there.
Shockdart.
Nice.
Revealing
One enemy remaining.
Shockdart.
Will you block?
Defeated.
Nice.
Yes!
Shockdart.
One enemy remaining.
Don't die, don't die.
It's kinda hard.
But you're gonna get hit by the enemy villager.
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
Oh shit, you're wow.
Bro, the
Hello hunters and welcome to my channel. Here are my favorite double shock dart positions on the map Icebox. These shocks will kill the player picking mid from boiler. Walk into this corner under this shape on the side, look up at this tower and put it right above the letter C under the charge bar like this with a full charge.
Scanning ahead.
Then drag your crosshair down until the middle of the HUD line under HP bar touches this tip of the K letter on the wall and do a 2
Revealing
charge.
area.
To land both shocks at the same time, wait until the first arrow in the air reaches this star here and then shoot.
Scanning ahead.
Both shocks will look like this and it's best to use them at the start of the round.
Shockdart.
These shocks will kill the player defusing default plant in A. Drop on this box and go into the corner, then for the first shock, look at this white line and aim right at the edge of it like this, 2 bounce, 1 tap.
Revealing area.
Then drag down and aim at this line under, right on the edge and do a 2 bounce, 2 charge.
Scanning ahead.
The shocks will look like this.
Shockdart. Trick shot.
If you're inside, go into the right corner here and for the first shock dart, look at the third red arrow and put your right diamond on top of it like this, 1 bounce, 2 charge. Then for the second one, quickly aim at the fourth red arrow and do a 1 bounce, 2 charge again. Both arrows will look like this.
Shockdart.
These shocks will kill the player defending from yellow in B. Go in this corner and for the first shock, look at this blue star in the sky, aim just above it and do a 2 charge.
Scanning ahead.
Then drag down until you see these rust circles and put your right hotline end between the last 2 circles like this and do a 1 charge.
Revealing area.
Both shocks will look like this and it's best to use them at the start of the round if your team is pushing B.
That is cold, friend.
These shocks will stop a player defusing default plant in B. Lock yourself between the barrels and the banana here, look up at the star and put it on the left tip of your charge ball like this, 2 bounce, full charge.
Revealing area.
Then for the second shock, look up in this corner and aim just under the dark line, 1 bounce, 2 charge.
Scanning ahead.
Both shocks done properly will look like this.
Shockdart. It is done.
These shock darts will kill the attackers picking mid boiler. Go in this corner and for the first shock, put the little curved line near drone right under this neon on the left like this with a 2 charge.
Revealing area.
Then drag down and put the line near the drone under the middle brown square here and do a 1 charge.
Scanning ahead.
Both shocks will look like this, and it's best to use them at the start of the round if the attackers are always pressuring mid. These shocks will stop the player planting default in A. Go in this corner on the entrance, look at this shape on the screen and put the end of the left hotline right in this corner with a 2 bounce 2 charge.
Revealing area.
Then for the second one, aim at the ceiling right under this dark corner and do a 1 bounce full charge.
Revealing area.
Before using this lineup, make sure the enemies can't push you from side and kill you. If you're holding from this position, go in this corner and aim at this white line where the grey wall stops, 2 bounce 2 charge.
Scanning ahead.
Then drag down and aim at the level of the top of the entrance on the white line again and do a 2 bounce full charge.
Scanning ahead.
The shocks will look like this, and it's best to use them when you hear them planting.
Spike planted.
These shocks will kill the players between nest and pipes. From the same corner, look at the square just above the vents and aim right in the middle of it, 2 bounce 2 charge.
Revealing area.
Then run to the right rafters until you see this white wall above the yellow one, aim in the middle of it fast, 2 bounce 1 tap.
Revealing area.
With a bit of practice, these shocks will look like this, and this is by far my favorite lineup.
Any angle. No more to oppose us.
These shocks will kill anyone around the orb in A. Go into this corner, look at the square under the vents, and for the first shock dart, put the vertical lines inside charge bar just under the square like this, 2 bounce 2 charge.
Scanning ahead.
Then turn to the left until you see this line above the server box, aim in the middle of it, 1 bounce 1 charge. This lineup requires some practice and should look like this if done properly.
Shockdart. No more to oppose us.
These shocks will kill anyone around the orb in B. Go in this corner here, look up at this little white star above the blue one and put it on the right tip of your left diamond like this with a 2 charge.
Scanning ahead.
Then drag down until the tip of the shock dart icon gets under this circle on the dark part and do a 1 charge.
Revealing area.
Use these shocks at the start of the round to predict a B push. This double shock dart will kill anyone peeking from B cubby. Go up into this corner, look at this blue triangle on the wall, and for the first arrow, put the right hotline end on it like this and do a 2 charge.
Revealing area.
Then for the second arrow, drag down until the middle of the right hotline gets under this diagonal grey line on the wall and do a 1 charge.
Scanning ahead.
Both shocks will look like this. These shocks will kill the player holding from yellow. Go into this corner here, look at this light and put the left hotline end above the grey stripe and do a 2 charge.
Scanning ahead.
Then for the second shock dart, aim at the white dot on the crane and do a 1 charge jump and release.
Revealing area.
Both shocks will look like this, and I use them after the attackers took control of the site.
Thrifty.
These shocks will stop the player planting the spike default B. If you're coming from A going to this corner, look up at this big star and put it inside the inner charge bar like this with a 2 charge.
Scanning ahead.
Then drag your crosshair down until the letter S sits on top of the crane like this and do a 1 charge.
Revealing area.
Both shocks should look like this, and use them before you hear them planting. If you're down here in B going to this corner, look at this dark line on the wall and put your right drawn circle on top like this with a 2 charge.
Scanning ahead.
Then for the second shock, drag it down under it on the metal corner with a 1 charge.
Scanning ahead.
Both shocks should look like this.
Shockdart.
Thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you would like to see more awesome videos like this, and also follow my socials. And I'll see you in the next video, hunters.